How's it going, everyone? It's Max from Max's Film Corner, and today I just wanted to discuss the movie The Woman in the Yard. So, this movie essentially is about a mom who gets in a car accident with her husband. Her husband passes away. She injures her leg and becomes somewhat crippled and has to raise her two kids on her own while dealing with the trauma and the pain of losing her husband. However, that's just the surface level. It gets way deeper and way more fucked up. And I honestly have to say, because I love horror movies, I don't mind how gruesome and fucked up they can be, but this message in this film is just downright disgusting to me. And so I wanted to talk about it today. Being that I've myself in my own life gone through a lot of dark times, this movie, I'm just going to be honest, this is a spoiler totally throughout the entire video. I'm going to be talking about the film in depth. And this movie essentially just, its message is about suicide and how it is okay to pull the trigger on your own life. And I just am so strongly against that. And I think that that is just a really shitty, disgusting message to put out in a film to other people. And not only that, but to kind of almost disguise it in a way. So if someone, let's say, is struggling in their own lives and they go to see this film, it's fucked up. And I feel like it could seriously damage and fuck up other people that are very sensitive or susceptible to these feelings. And I feel super compelled to just talk about this because it just drives me nuts. So, for starters, this film literally is just pretty one track. There's not one character within the film that I really feel strongly attached to. I mean, when it comes to the mother, she's honestly a piece of shit. You could tell she's just given up on everything, and not only is given up on everything, she is just taking it out on her children. And I just don't stand for that. Like, I know that she lost her husband within the film, and that is a very tragic and terrible thing to have happen to you. However, like, you know, your kids need to be the glimmer of hope, I would assume, that you'd want to keep moving. Like, they need you, you know, they need their mother. So, the fact that throughout the entire film, she is constantly having outbursts, you know, against her children, whether they're, you know, complaining or they're whining or this or that, because they're kids. She'll have outbursts and she'll just be lazy and she won't want to turn the power on. She doesn't want to call the fucking company to turn the power on. She doesn't want to go get more groceries. Like, doesn't even want to cook. Like, her eldest son, which he has to be, let's say, like 13 maybe, you know, he's cooking food and shit, like in breakfast for his younger sister and for his mother. And that's just kind of fucking crazy to me. So yeah, that's how I feel about the mom, obviously. And then, even with the kids, I didn't feel a sense of dread from them, like they even had just lost their dad. Like, there was a few little nods to that, but really the older son just kind of had like his little pissy, angsty, like teen feelings that came out throughout the film, which is pretty like just stereotypical, but they didn't feel very like addressing his internalized pain from, like, you know, losing his father and this and that. So I just didn't feel like a huge connect with the kids. And then the little girl, she's a sweetheart, but you can't help but feel just terrible, you know, that she is even in this situation. So then moving on from that, one thing I want to say too, so I started watching this film, right? 25 minutes into the film, a mom comes in with, I'm assuming, her friend and like 4 really, really young kids, including a baby. Okay? And as soon as they walked in, I was like, oh, here we go. Because they were loud. They were talking throughout the entire film. They were Snapchatting pictures of like her and the baby watching this film. And I'm thinking to myself, like, not only are you being disrespectful and rude, you literally brought your children into a movie with really fucking dark and fucked up message about how a mother's, you know, relationship with her kids and just how, you know, like I said, suicide and shit. And it's just like, oh my god. Like, I literally was, I was clenching my thumbs or my hands, and I was like, please, just like, why are you here? Like, this is just fucked up. So, you know, God bless them. I think this is a piece of shit move to do. I'm sorry if that offends anyone. It really bothered me, and it really bugged me even more than how the movie was just building up fucking fire in my soul. So, moving on from that little tidbit, so the movie progresses. You know, this woman, she's in the yard, and she essentially seems to know everything about the main character and the mother. And as, you know, there's more interactions with this woman in the yard, she kind of creeps closer and closer to the house. And then, essentially, you get to, like, this last bit of the movie, like this last 15, 20, 30, whatever the fuck it is. And it's just so, like, it gets almost confusing. Like, there's this point where it's just, like, these super fast shots and all this shit happening, and it's a combination of, like, headlights and car horns and the husband and this and that, and then, you know, they're in the attic, and this is what I would assume is real, because there's this whole dream state versus reality state within the movie, and it's told through backwards handwriting. What? And so, anyways, they get, you know, they're in the attic, and the fucking woman in black, she is peering through the windows of the house. She's almost like a demonic entity, but she just looks like a fucking normal human being. And there's this flashlight spinning in this fucking attic, and this is like after just kind of seeing all this crazy flashback shit. So there's flashlight spinning in the attic, and it was like they should have a strobe warning on the film, because, like, I usually am fine with that. I've been to a lot of concerts and things, but this shit was like in your face, and I'm like, I had to, like, close my eyes for a second because it was just so overwhelming visually. And so then it comes down to the point where she starts to realize that the woman in black is in fact her, and this woman has come because she herself has called upon her to essentially push her over that edge, to finally give up on herself and her life. And then one of the themes too is the fact that the mother's always helping everyone in her life. You know, the husband, the kids, the chickens, the farm that they live on, and all these things, and she never does anything for herself. Now, I understand that point of view, and I understand, you know, wanting to not always be doing everything for everyone else and exhausting all of your energy, but to have a conclusion where the only answer to that is to literally end your life and to literally make your kids orphans. I think that is just fucking just disgusting. It's just a terrible message to even instill on just really anyone in this fucking planet. Okay? So, essentially, sorry, I'm gonna take a sip of coffee. So essentially, and this is all within this last fucking, you know, 20, 30 minutes of the movie, maybe 15 minutes of the movie, like I said. Because before that, it was just kind of slow. And I will say this, too. There was literally no fucking scary elements of this film until the end. And even then, it was just your typical silence, loud noise, flash pop-up of something scary on the screen. And it just didn't hit me at all. She gets the kids to go, she gets the older brother to take the younger sister over to the neighbors to get away, because there's this moment between the woman in the yard and the mom that she basically tells her, like, you know, no, like, you brought me here because you want me to let you know that it's okay to take your life. Even though the mom is pushing back, she's like, no, you know, my kids need me, you know, shit that you want to fucking hear. So that happens. She sends the kids away. She has this moment. It's in the attic still. Fucking the woman in the yard comes up. She takes the gun, positions it to her head, and then she disappears. You can see like a shadow of the woman in the yard kind of forming together with the main character, the mom. And then you see like a mirror shot of the mom holding it like this, to her head. And then it kind of just cuts to her getting out of there, getting to the kids, which that was all just kind of didn't really make sense logically to me, like how that even worked. And then basically it's seeming like that she overcame the woman in the yard, and that she is not going to commit suicide, and that she knows that she needs to be there for her kids. So that was like a moment where I'm like, okay, like maybe this isn't bad. Like maybe that, this is the message, that you can overcome these hard times in your life, and that there's a lot more things that are important in life to not give up on your own. And so then they go into the house, and it seems kind of like, this like storybook ending, and like things are going well, and then it kind of starts zooming through the window, a shot of this painting. Because that's another thing I will say too. There's a lot of shots of like artwork and paintings, and like even a model of the house within the attic. And there's just like a lot of shots of those, but there's like nothing said about fucking like, is the mom fucking making those? And if there was something said, I just did not notice it. But it was just kind of very thrown in there. And so, this thing's zooming in, and you see this painting, and it kind of looks a little blissful. It's not like red or black or, like dark colors. It's just like this blue and this green, and the music's kind of peaceful. And then as it's, slowly zooming in, it starts to zoom a little bit down, and then you see the signature on the painting. And it says Ramona, which is the mom's name, backwards. And what did I say before? The whole dream state shit and everything. That tells me that what we just saw, her coming to her senses, was all a dream. And that she did kill herself indeed. And I just, like, it literally, like, it made me, like, I had fucking just, like, so much energy going through my body because I was so frustrated. At the very end, I was just hoping, redeem yourself. I know you've been kind of pushing this subject of suicide. Please redeem yourself. Please have, that moment of truth that you understand, and just have a good fucking ending. Because, we've been sitting here for an hour and a half now watching this film, and it sucked, and it's made me fucking angry. And that would just, be the sweet ending to kind of redeem it a little bit for me, a little bit. And no, it's just fuck you. So overall, if you are struggling in your life, if you've ever struggled with depression or had suicidal thoughts, please, please, please do not watch this movie. Okay? Please do not watch this movie. Do not take your kids to this movie like that woman had done, because no one should see this. I'll be honest. Like, I know that there's hard work put into it. I do not blame the actors and actresses. I do not blame the director. They did, what they could with it. The writing, what the fuck. I don't recommend this movie at all. 0 out of 5 for me. I just felt very compelled to make this message to try to warn you guys. Even if you want to go see it, just be warned that this movie is very dark and not in a good way. But yeah, so if you do want to see it, I still would even tell you too, I would strongly urge you to just watch it at home streaming, because I can't justify going to see this film. I'm sorry, I just can't do it. So yeah, that's really all I have to say on the film. I think I got pretty much all of my thoughts out there. And if you have seen the film, please comment down below. I'd like to know your thoughts on the film. Maybe we could form a discussion within the comment section. And everyone, I really hope you have a wonderful day, and I look forward to bringing you more videos. Thank you so much. I'm out.